Just Joe here, and I've got too many movies. Maybe I should watch one. So now it is November, the month of Thanksgiving, and I'm giving thanks because I came up with a brilliant little gem of an idea where I would look at one of the best directors in the history of cinema, Steven Spielberg. Or well, I would look at a number of his films that are classics. They're in the National Film Registry, and I don't know if all of them are, but they probably will be, but a few of them are. But there's four in particular that are from early in his career that I have actually never seen. And it seems weird, such a big film nerd snob like I am, and yet I haven't seen these four films. And I was like, that's gotta change. I have them all in my collection, so I need to watch them. I love Steven Spielberg. Who doesn't love his work? He's not really a polarizing figure. I mean, some people may not appreciate or really dig his movies, but you know what? There's at least that one Steven Spielberg movie where even the snobbiest of film snob would go, that's dope. So today I'm going to look at a movie that's probably going to surprise a lot of people. It honestly, it surprised me when I realized that I have not seen this movie all the way through. I know it from the beginning to the end, yet I've never actually sat down and watched it from beginning to end. It just seems crazy. And the movie I'm talking about is Steven Spielberg, and it was an idea from George Lucas. That's right, you know what I'm talking about, kiddies. It is Raiders of the Lost Ark. I know. It seems insane. It seems insane that I have not seen Raiders of the Lost Ark. I grew up with Indiana Jones. I grew up with the Temple of Doom. I grew up with Last Crusade. I unfortunately did see Kingdom of the Crystal Skull in the theaters, or actually at a drive-in, and yeah. But it hit me that I have never seen Raiders of the Lost Ark from beginning to end. I know the movie by heart. It's been reviewed a million times. It's been parodied a million times. It's considered one of Steven Spielberg's best movies. Steven Spielberg has actually said it's one of the few movies, if the only movie, that he can watch from beginning to end and not criticize it the whole time and not look back and have any regrets. So, I mean, everyone loves Raiders of the Lost Ark, or for the most part, it's one of the greatest adventure movies ever, and it led to one of the greatest film trilogies, not quadrilogies, trilogies ever in cinema history. But is it really that good? And that's what I'm going to try to figure out today. So, yeah, I'm going to watch Raiders of the Lost Ark to start off Steven Spielberg Month. So, yeah, got my coffee, and I'm going to go watch Raiders of the Lost Ark, and that's what I'm going to do. So, that's what I'm going to do. Bye! Okay, woo! Oh boy! So excited I broke my chair a little bit. Jeez. Okay, so I just got done watching Raiders of the Lost Ark, or Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, but the original title is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Did it hold up for me? You know, even though I knew the plot, beginning to end, I knew all the classic scenes. Did it hold up? Of course it did! It's Raiders of the Lost Ark, it's Steven Spielberg, it's George Lucas, when George Lucas knew how to make things. How could I not love it? It is one of the greatest adventure movies of all time. Of course it held up. Jeez Louise, Christ did it hold up. Damn! Okay, so I've watched Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's time to get into it. As always, let's start with the plot/C script. Okay, the plot of Raiders of the Lost Ark, for all two of you that don't know, is Indiana Jones, played by Harrison Ford. He's an archaeologist. In the very beginning of the movie, he's off trying to find this golden head thing. You know, a golden head. It's a golden head. It's probably worth a lot of money because it's a golden head. Those, you can't just like go to Walmart and buy a golden head for 5 cents. You know, you gotta go somewhere in the jungles and get it. That's what Indiana Jones is doing here. And a friend or person, you know, kind of betrays him, but doesn't really matter. They don't last long because it's an Indiana Jones movie. But his mortal enemy, at least for this movie, Belloc, a Frenchman, is there, and he takes the golden thing away from him. Indiana Jones escapes. He goes back. It shows him teaching. He is a teacher. How awesome would that be to have Harrison Ford as a freaking teacher? But he's recruited because the Nazis, the Nazis are after the Ark of the Covenant, and if they get that, it could give them ultimate power. So Indiana Jones is hired by the U.S. government to go after it because Belloc is also helping the Nazis try to get it. And so Indiana Jones has to go talk to the daughter that he kind of left behind 10 years prior, Marion Ravenwood, played awesomely by Karen Allen, and the two of them embark on an adventure to get the Ark of the Covenant, and it's full of just amazing scenes. Jeez, it's so much creativity went into this movie. I mean, my God. But in case you haven't seen it and don't know all the classic scenes, or if you're really young, you know, but you need to see this movie regardless. It is one of Steven Spielberg's greatest movies, and it is one of the greatest movies ever made. But I won't ruin the rest of the plot for you, but you know, he has to go after the Ark of the Covenant and fight bad guys and Nazis and all that stuff with Karen Allen by his side. The duo was awesome, and that's the plot. The script of this, written by Lawrence Kasdan, which is a story given by George Lucas and somebody else, I can't remember their name, but Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, and Lawrence Kasdan mapped out the entire movie. Lawrence Kasdan went off and he wrote it, and he wrote a masterpiece. He put great humor into this. Some people, like some of the humor, it doesn't translate well to people, like Marion Ravenwood hitting, I don't know if it was in the original script, but hitting a bad guy in the head with a frying pan. You ever been hit, like in the arm with a frying pan? You hit someone hard enough, it would knock you out, and it's funny. So I like the humor in this movie. But regardless of the humor, and the action was awesome. I know a lot of that came from Steven Spielberg on the set. A lot of the action scenes were improvised, which is amazing to me. But it's such the dialogue. It's not exposition heavy, and when it is, it makes sense. Like when they explain the Ark and the Covenant at the beginning to the two US government guys, it makes sense that they probably won't know all about that. So Indiana and his partner in crime at the university, damn it, I can't remember the damn character's name, but Denham Holt, I believe, was the actor's name who played him, but they played it great, but I'll get to that. God, this movie is so damn good, like, I want to go and watch it again. I got so excited. Coffee! But the dialogue in this, it helps. I mean, the story, the movie flows so well, so damn well. And I give a lot of the props to Lawrence Kasdan for the script. Why this didn't get an Academy Award nomination for Best Original Screenplay, I will have no idea ever. It should have, because the dialogue in this is so wonderful to listen to, and all the characters have something interesting to say, whether it be the bad guys or especially the good guys, and they explain the characters quickly through the dialogue, and again, not exposition heavy. The way they explain Marion, you understand her immediately. Indiana Jones you get from the first couple scenes. All the characters, even the minor side characters, when the dialogue provides their backstory, it's natural sounding. It's not like they're talking to the audience, like they're talking to each other, and that's what a good screenplay is supposed to do. This is almost a complete and utter masterpiece of script writing by Lawrence Kasdan, and I know it's studied in film schools all around the world, because why wouldn't it be? The script, I mean, and the settings they came up with, the different parts of the world, and the dialogue, and the characters. This script is bueno. Okay, so next up I talk about the cast/the characters. Again, I can't think of anyone in this movie who wasn't cast perfectly. Harrison Ford's Indiana Jones, it's even better casting than him as Han Solo. He just had the look of what Indiana Jones is supposed to be. Rough, rugged, handsome, and all the stuff, but he had the right attitude for it too. You believe that he could be a professor, you believe that he could be really smart, but also very tough, and kind of lucky in a way, because Indiana Jones is a wrong place, wrong time type of guy, and yet he still gets out of there, because he's kind of lucky, but he's also charming, and he's also got the skills. Also, Karen Allen as Marion Ravenwood. This is one of the great women characters in film history. Yes, she has to be saved a lot, but it's not like she gets in the situation because she's dumb. They just kind of pick on her because she's a girl. So it makes sense Indiana Jones would want to, or would have to save her all the time, because they keep going after Marion because she's the woman, and they also use her to try to get to Indiana Jones. And you know, the love story between her and Indiana, there's a past there, and she got hurt, and there's not a lot of mushy crap or dialogue there. You believe their relationship, you believe their love story, and it never goes too far. It's done perfectly. Also, his sidekick, it's not really Indiana Jones' sidekick, but the other guy, it makes me mad that I can't remember his damn name. Denham Elliott. Denham Elliott is his name. Did not want to get that wrong because he's a fantastic actor, so apologies. But anyway, Denham Elliott plays almost like a father figure to Indiana Jones at the university, and I thought he was in the movie a lot more. It makes sense that he's not, but I enjoyed his character so much, and everyone's always praised him so much, I figured he was in the movie more. But that's what a good supporting character is supposed to do, where you want him in the movie more, but at the same time you understand that, you know, that's his role and it's perfect. Also, Sala, I believe his name is, was originally supposed to be played by Danny DeVito, but the actor they got for him was fantastic, lovable, kind of the comedy relief, but not over the top. Very good character. I was sad when he left the movie, like his character, they didn't need him anymore. But again, it made sense, and he was a wonderful addition to the film. And even the bad guys, Belloc, that actor was perfect, such a good character. And also, he made it to where the guy was kind of a good guy, in a way, looking after Marion Ravenwood. But he was also a complete and utter dickhole because he wanted the Ark of the Covenant. He also worked for the Nazis. And also, this Gestapo guy, the actor they got for him was perfect. I mean, all the bad guys were fantastic. Even the little extras, the Nazis, and everybody else, even the students in Indiana Jones' classroom, it's a quick scene, were funny, and the women were definitely funny in that. There's a girl, she's got "I love you" on her eyelids. I've never heard of that scene in this movie before. Why is that not talked about more? That is hilarious. Weird, but hilarious. But the casting for this, the cast they got was fantastic. And the characters too, there's not much to say. Indiana Jones, we all want to be Indiana Jones. Every guy, and even women, want to be Indiana Jones or want to be with Indiana Jones. And I'm sure there are a lot of men that want to be with Indiana Jones. Hell, I do, and I'm straight, because he's Indiana freaking Jones. He's awesome, he's amazing. It's Harrison Ford, it's a man's man, it's awesome, it's what we all wish we could be, but if we actually tried to go on those adventures with Indiana Jones, we would be killed within 5 seconds. Marion Ravenwood, beautiful, smart, tough, great woman character in this movie. It's so nice to see that, especially for a movie that's, you know, 30, 40 years old. It's fantastic. The bad guys are all exactly what they're supposed to be. You're supposed to hate them and also fear them. Very well put together cast. The characters were all written extraordinarily well, and everything just, it's one of those films where everything came together and it was just about as close as perfect as you could get. The cast is great, and the characters, the side characters, good guys, bad guys, fantastic. And last but not least, talk about the directing, editing, and the music. What can I say? It's Steven fucking Spielberg, and this was when the dude was in his prime. I mean, what am I trying to say? Like, changing Hollywood back then. I mean, he was changing what it was to be a director, and he was picking the right projects. He's so smart, and he still picks good projects. But Raiders of the Lost Ark was so different and so old school, and the way they shot it, where it was dirty and realistic. I mean, my God, the sets in this are phenomenal, and it's not CGI. It's real locations and real people, and it makes you appreciate it even more. That doesn't really happen anymore in Hollywood, especially for big budget movies. And it's amazing this wasn't a huge budget movie. It's a lot of money, but nowadays this movie would probably cost 200, 300 million to make, and it would be a lot of computer work. But back then, no, it was dirty. It was old school filmmaking, and they took it from old film serials, you know, back in the 20s or 30s or whatever. And it was a marriage made in heaven. And Steven Spielberg was the perfect guy to shoot this. I can't think of any scene in this movie that wasn't necessary the way that it was shot. Like, everything is so brilliantly shot by the Spielberg. It really is. The movie looks fantastic, but again, has that dirty feeling. And I know that has a lot to do with, you know, the characters and the costumes and the sets and the locations, but I think it's also the way that Steven Spielberg directed it. He wanted it to look very realistic, and he understood what this movie was and what it could be. And without his direction, there's no way Raiders of the Lost Ark would have been Raiders of the Lost Ark. This is Steven Spielberg, again, in his prime. I'm not saying he didn't direct better movies or have better directing performances, but my God, this is, again, as close to perfect as you can get. I can't think of any place where I was like, ugh, why'd you choose that shot, Steven? Everything made sense. Every shot looked great. And there was a lot of surprises, you know, a lot of scenes, long shots, and the way the camera, the way he moved it, where he didn't really have to, but he did it because honestly, it just made it more fun. But the direction, once again, another time using this word, perfect. The editing, won an Academy Award for Best Film Editing. The first one for Michael Kahn, who has basically been Steven Spielberg's editor since this time. And again, really, the editing, without great editing this movie, it would not have been what it was going to be. I can't think of one scene, even one shot, that was unnecessary. Everything was necessary. The dude put together a masterpiece, and that's why he won Academy Award. He's won 3 Academy Awards for film editing. If I remember correctly, and they've all been for Steven Spielberg movies. If I remember, it's Raiders of the Lost Ark, Schindler's List, and Saving Private Ryan. And that's already good enough. Yet he's, you know, edited the majority of Steven Spielberg movies and probably others, I don't know. But the dude is a maestro when it comes to editing. And this was film editing, not digital, which is still hard, but this is film editing. And Steven Spielberg just let him go, and perfect. Do I really have to talk about the music? Everyone knows the damn music. You know the music even if you've never seen the damn movies. It's Indiana Jones. It's John Williams. It's some of the greatest music ever on film. People who've never seen this crap know the damn music. Dun 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 dun. Come on, you know the Indiana Jones theme, and not even that. A lot of the music in the movie, very recognizable, beautiful. It's John Williams. It's perfect. Okay, final thoughts. Obviously, you know what I'm gonna give this damn movie. It lived up to all the years of me waiting, and it probably still is the greatest one in the Indiana Jones. Like, my favorite is still Last Crusade. Just because it's got Indiana Jones as a kid at the beginning, it's got his relationship with his father, it's a little bit sillier, but it also doesn't have as many memorable cinematic moments. I mean, everyone knows about the big boulder coming after Indiana Jones, that opening scene. Everybody knows all the fight scenes, the fight scene in the marketplace, Indiana Jones shooting the guy because he doesn't want to fight him because he's big and huge and has a big sword. That's hilarious. And people remember Marion Ravenwood. People remember Belloc. People remember the fight by the airplane. People remember snakes. Why do it have to be snakes? I could go on for a half hour. You basically remember the entire movie. It's so quotable and so memorable and still so different. There's very few times an adventure movie is like this, and so many people have, I don't want to say ripped it off, but borrowed from it because it's just a masterpiece and still holds up to this day as a damn masterpiece. And it's like, how could you, I don't understand anybody who doesn't like this movie. It flows beautifully. It's a little under 2 hours. It's right around, it's the perfect amount of time for this movie. It's shot perfectly, cast perfectly, it's written perfectly, the music is perfect. Everything is freaking perfect. It really is one of the tightest movies I have ever watched, and I knew that I would probably love this because I love Indiana Jones. I did not think that I would love it this much. I was glued to the screen for 2 hours. This movie not only holds up, it really is one of the greatest damn movies of all time, and now I fully understand it, and I cannot wait to watch this movie again. I'm gonna wait a little while, even just a week, and watch the damn thing again. And it'll probably be better the second time around. Indiana Jones, The Raiders of the Lost Ark, or just Raiders of the Lost Ark, is one of those rare times in cinema where everything, from the idea to the script to the director, to the cast, to the characters, to the music, to the editing. Everything came together and made a near perfect freaking movie. It's a rarity when it comes to cinema. And I love that. I love it. It's what I hope to accomplish one day if I'm lucky enough. But for now, I'll just have to watch great movies like this and just have a wonderful smile on my face, because I love it. I love it when a movie lives up to the damn hype after all of these decades. So I'm going to give Raiders of the Lost Ark a Just Joe rating, go figure, a 5 out of 5. Thank you very much for tuning in to Too Many Movies with me, Just Joe. All the links are in the description below for my Facebook page. Subscribe to me on this YouTube channel, Apartment B1 Productions. I have a new Too Many Movies every single Friday where I watch a new movie from my collection I've never seen before, so look forward to that. Of course, there are other videos coming, other videos up on my channel. I'll actually have some Too Many Movies from the movies, or I'm sorry, Too Many Movies at the movies soon. I was hoping to get to the theater. I haven't been able to, but there are a few big movies coming out in the next couple months that I will definitely be going to the theater to see, and I will definitely make videos for them and review them. So look forward to those. Also, my Twitter page is down there, my Instagram, the podcast I'm sometimes on with my buddy Jake. And yeah, another rendition of Too Many Movies with, who's that guy? Just Joe. And as you can see, I got more movies I gotta watch. Steven Spielberg Month will continue next week with a movie that hopefully will not take a bite out of my sanity. That's the best I could come up with. It's fucking Jaws. I'll do better next week. Bye.
Quiet on the set.